What's going on, YouTube? Is Donnie B all day, bringing you another rainy day knife review. Today we have the Szco Supplies Primitive Bowie. Now, this beast, it's funny, it listed at 18 inches overall, but I actually measured it and it's 19 and a quarter overall. 19 and a quarter overall with a 13 and a quarter inch blade, right? It's a stainless steel blade, and it's got the stamp nobody loves to see right there, made in Pakistan, which means, you know, overall the quality has got to be great. The sheath says leather, smells like leather, better than some of the other ones, not too bad. One thing about this sheath though is, check this out. I'm going to show you guys something. You're going to love this. Alright, first I'm going to button it up, and maybe I'll button it up. Now, I haven't used this knife for anything yet, right? Okay, but let's get back to what I was just showing. Here we go, right? Watch this, watch this. What's the point of the snap? This thing is, wow, it's heavy, but it's not gonna bounce out. It's so long. If I'm running, riding a horse, anything like that, I'm not gonna lose this knife. I have no idea what this is for. My recommendation is to pull it out, because you don't need it. And what's going to happen is, eventually, this little brass snap right here is going to stain the wood of your handle. So if you want to prolong the nice wooden handle, really nice, take off that. So we don't need that right now. What we do need is this. So remember, this is a primitive Bowie. Now, this Bowie right here, this style, this is the one that everybody thought, you know, Jim Bowie carried at the Alamo. Wrong. This is the style that was recovered, but not from Jim Bowie. Jim Bowie, however, did make the Bowie. He ended up making it for a friend. He gave it to a friend. After that friend got killed, the Bowie was recovered, and it is now sitting in that museum, and you can actually go down and see the original version of this knife. It's freaking gigantic, right? Same thing though with the brass top guard, with the brass S guard, and you know, the leveled, the double level grip. Now, one thing I'm going to say about this grip is this: your hand's not going anywhere this way because you have a hand guard, right? The palm swell and the flare out at the end is great. It's going to keep the knife from wanting to leave your hand. And remember, this is a fighting knife. This is an all-out fighting knife, and that's why they were able to survive with such a long clip point. Usually on a clip point like this, you sacrifice the tip could break. And I can easily say that because this came in the box like this, with a broken tip. And I thought to myself, well, I'm gonna exchange it for a new one. And then I stopped and I said, you know what, screw that. This is showing the product, and my job for you guys to show you if these are good or bad. And this one came with a broken tip. There's not much broken off of there. I'm only missing, you know, this much knife, but it shows you that either they make this with a square tip, which they don't, or the tip broke off, which it did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind in my own little tip and hopefully improve it. So so here's the thing: if you pry with this knife, you're gonna lose the tip. I can almost guarantee you that, because this knife had nothing done to it and it's already missing a tip. So next is the polish. Alright, so hopefully you guys can really see this. You see how it's all scratched up except right here? This is the only spot in the entire knife that's polished. The rest of it looks like somebody hit it with sandpaper. You see that? That's all over the knife. I don't know why, because if this was the entire knife, it would be beautiful. Now, here's the crazy thing. Look at that. Look at that. Here's the crazy thing. Flip it over, and it's the exact same thing on the other side. That one spot is polished. The rest looks like it was hit with a sandpaper. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to scuff the shiny, or I don't know if I want to repolish this entire blade. and see if I can't make the whole thing shine. However, I plan on using it a bit, so I don't know if I care to make it shiny or to scuff that little end. I mean, it's not going to bother me. I'm just thinking it just looks stupid. And you can see different directions of these little scratches. Some go this way, some go this way. I mean, it's all over the place. So, I mean, it's a Pakistani blade, and I've never gotten one where the fit and finish on a Pakistani blade was any good at all. Let's see, right here, high, low. So we can see the grinding is just no bueno. Right here, let's see if we can get it in. There's like little chunks taken out of right there. It's uneven. In the brass, this corner and this corner are all jacked up. There's little lines and scuffs inside the hanger. Here we go, right here. Look at, just so sloppy. I mean, it's a blade from Pakistan, and this is what to expect. Now here's a big one right here. Look at the difference. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see it in the grind right here. It's just, you can see the line is crooked. I know you guys can see that, right? Boop. It's not close to straight. But when you're talking about a primitive Bowie, I'm not gonna lie, I almost like that stuff, because this is made to look like it came out of the 1800s and it was used for, you know, hacking away, you know, Indian invaders. It was used to, you know, protect yourself from some gigantic grizzly bear or I don't know, grizzly mosquito. It was made as an absolute pull it out and have a sword that you can wear like a knife. And that's what this thing was for. You can get on your horse and you can use this as a fighting tool from a higher platform, and the blade is still long enough to reach your target. And that was crazy important. This isn't something you're going to strap to a stick and use as a spear. Oh, here's something. Check this out. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but there's like a big gouge in the wood. It's not like cracked because you could see the clear is actually inside the crack, which means it was there when they decided to clear it. Also, I don't know if it's some kind of rat tail or whatever they did. Instead of doing a burn through in this handle, what it looks like they did is it looks like they just drilled a hole all the way through a stick and then cut it and then shaped it around the hole. And they didn't even do it evenly, because you see this? It's farther to one side. So it looks like, I mean, I don't even know what they did there. I don't know. This is obviously filler, right? But look at how close to the side, which means the blade on the inside is probably rubbing up against the hole on this side. And this thing is, the wood is so much thinner over here than it is over here. Over here, I have good confidence in. But over here, I don't. And this happens to be where that little gouge is. But anyway, let's get back to why you want this knife. You want this knife because this thing will kill the space shuttle. I mean, it's a absolute devastating killer. That's exactly what it's for. Not only that, but it's long and it has a clip point. So when your pot is on the fire, you reach in and you grab the handle of the pot and you pull it out with this big bastard so you don't burn your hands. I mean, this is, remember, this is primitive, which means this is cowboys on the trail, guys that, you know, are out sleeping, you know, no cabins, mostly no tents. These guys are just laying on the ground, you know, and they're in enemy territory. There's animals everywhere. They have no idea if they're going to survive the night. And the only way they can help make that happen is two things. And that was a pistol and a Bowie. And this is pretty much what they would have carried back then, is a large Bowie. This is extra large, and not too many people had this because Jim created this for a buddy. So, but it would have been knives like this, similar to this, close to size, something that you don't have to be up close and personal to get the damage done. So it's primitive, yes, and I like it. It is crappy as it is fit and finish. I like it because of what it is and what it stands for and what it represents. I'm a fan. This I'll fix. I'll take care of that. I don't care. As far as sharpness, out of the box sharpness, let's see. I don't think I'm going to be removing too much hair. Looks like I'm just creating dander. All right, so yeah, out of the box sharpness, it is not shave sharp. It's sharp. It's sharp. You can hear that. It's got an edge on it, except the tip. The tip obviously doesn't have an edge, but I don't know. It's burly and it's rugged and it's ugly and it's beautiful at the same time. I mean, beautiful, but ugly. Ugly scratches, ugly finishes, ugly cracks, ugly everything. But this thing is gorgeous. I'm talking this thing, watch this. Tell me if that's not beautiful. Tell me if that's not one of the most beautiful knives you've ever seen in your life. Tell me if that's not one of the ugliest knives you've ever seen in your life. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't have it both ways type thing. Can't have it both ways. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to throw it through a couple tests and see if the rest of it snaps in half. If it does, it does. I'll just get another one for 30 bucks because I believe that's what they cost. Or maybe it won't break and I'll keep it. All right, let's try it out. All right, no water bottle today. I'm going to use metal. We're going to use aluminum. We're going to do the soda can challenge instead. And this thing's so long I could probably back up 12 feet and try to swing from there, but we'll go here. Now, I don't even know if this is going to cut through. I'm thinking it could just crush it. I don't know. Here we go. I was wrong. It crushed it, yeah. It crushed the task, but it sliced straight through there. Okay, I didn't expect that edge to take care of that can so easily. That's pretty good. What I thought was going to happen was it was going to push it, but it was going to smash it. All right, so the immediate sharpness test is a pass. When you think about that, if that's an enemy and you're swinging at an arm, think about what that's going to do. Oh, yeah, let's keep going. All right, guys, so what we want to do is we want to chop with this big bastard. And seeing as how it's long, and I hope you guys could see me pretty good. I don't know how the light is, but here's my palette. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and chop through both sides. I got leeches on this thing. And try and go through both sides and see what we get. Actually, they're slugs. So, let's see. This palette is old, it's hard, and it's wet. And it's falling apart right now. Because this Bowie is trashing it. And it is just devastating it. I hope I'm getting this all in there. I mean, that's two sides gone straight through. And the key here is how the edge hold up. Do we have any chips? When you're talking about a blade that breaks at the tip, you'd expect some chips. And guess what? There isn't a single mark of anything bad on that edge. I mean, just crazy. I hope you guys are actually, I'm getting you guys in there on this. But let me see here. With the square tip. Oh, I missed it. It's hard. I'm holding this up with one hand. It's, that's pretty good, guys. That's pretty good indeed. That's pretty good indeed. So let's see. Bam. Oh man. So all right. So stage 1, the can split in half. Stage 2, the pallet split in half. Stage 3, let's go find out together. All right, guys. So what we have here is a bunch of just loose hanging stuff, right? It's stuff that without a good blade you're not going to chop through, because it's literally, look, that's the end of it. It's not tethered down, so there's nothing to hold it on there. What I want to do is I want to try and see if we can't just take care of a 1-inch tree, the 1-inch forest. All right, so let's try and hack some of this away. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually hacking away. Yeah. Wow. Holy crap. I don't know if you guys can even see what's happening, but it is tearing it up. Holy mackerel, I'm probably getting 1,000 ticks right now, but I don't even care right now. This Lyme disease is going to be worth it. Oh, man. Holy mackerel. Wow. Just primitive in looks, but wow, this thing is modern chainsaw. Holy crap. No damage except one thing, and I'm pretty sure you guys could see what it is. That brass handguard popped off of there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish the review without it, then I'm gonna put it back on a little better. Let's see, is there any loosening? No, all's pretty good. So I gotta go find that brass. All right, we're back on track now. So that happened, and I'm starting to look at it, and I'm thinking, I wonder if I polish this up now. That looks more like the Szco Bowie without it, and I don't know if I think I might like it better without it, just because performance-wise, if I do more chops in the future, because you think about it, every time you chop through something, that's going to be knocking that brass guard, and that's what just happened. Is I went through something and it took it off. When you're talking about batoning and things like that, and this flat grind right here, and that's what it feels like to me. It's a big flat grind. I think I might be better off without it. I know it takes away from, you know, the look of what it's supposed to be, but remember, I don't hang these up in a showcase. I use these things. So I'm thinking I'm gonna fix the tip, then I'm gonna clean this crap up, you know, and I'm gonna have a jumbo Szco Bowie with, you know, not even nowhere near the quality, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. I like it. So now here's the thing, no jimping, obviously. There used to be a brass handguard here. No true choil, but they do kind of have one, and I have to say that my hand fits in there pretty good. So now here we are. Look at this, man. It's shaven like, you know, a dinner table freaking cucumber. Holy mackerel. This is a great shaver. So let's see, we'll choke up on this thing and we'll make some pretty happen, and pretty is definitely happening. I just stopped it at one place, but we restarted and it's fine. So can you feather stick with it? Yeah, you can do just about anything with this thing. You could start a lawnmower with this. It'll start out of fear. You just show the mower, start or I'll do this, and it will go. So now I'm checking for looseness, and I don't know, I could swear I feel something. It's kind of hard to tell. Again, if I think the blade, the stainless blade, is going to stand up to things. If anything's going to go bad, I believe it's just going to be all the hardware. I mean, obviously this part of the hardware went. I don't think I'm going to be breaking the blade, but you can't really tell unless you throw it into something. So we're going to do that. First, I'll do some drops and then some short throws, and then I'm going to do a throw. If the handle breaks off, I'll just make a new one. I'll just do a different style or whatever. But so far, this is capable. This is a very capable knife. Let's go drop and short throw. All right, guys, welcome to the stump. So I'm gonna do some drops and some short throws. Now, normally when the tip has been bitten off, right, and it's square, you're not going to expect it to stab into a lot of things, but this thing is so big and heavy that I have enough confidence that it's gonna stick, right? And holy mackerel, even without a tip, this thing is sticking. That is dead straight. The balance on this knife is, oh my gosh, is great. there's nothing in the rear heavy enough to pull it around. So I can literally stand up onto something and drop that on a hog that walking by or something, you know what I mean? I see something coming, boop, it's not going to take much if I'm at a higher position and I have an animal walking by. That animal's gone, you know what I mean? That would go straight through a rabbit, a squirrel, or anything like that. Oh my gosh. Again, I'm not going to really, I don't want to pry too much because, oh my gosh, it's in there. If I pry too much, I'm going to break the rest of the tip off, and I kind of need that because I got to file it down. But the bite, you can hear how solid that is. Look at this. Ugh. That is a knife without a tip. Can you imagine if this thing came with a tip? So this thing is just a badass beast. I mean, it is a badass beast. Let's see. I want a baton with it, but I really don't. Let's see. All this wood is kind of crappy right now. Let's see. Now, this is 4 feet long, so I'm not going to go all the way through, but you see that it's having no problem bite into there, and if I wanted to spend 2 days doing this, I can get all the way through that. If I had a shorter log, this would be a lot more fun. But can I use the baton without damaging the edge or without warping the edge? Yeah, I can do that. And without the brass guard up here, I think I'd be able to baton through logs pretty simply, actually. It's pretty fantastic for what it is, especially for 30 bucks for something this big. It's cool. So that's not a real throw. Let's go really throw it. Come on. Did we test the spine? No, not yet. All right, so let's test the spine. Spine tested, spine approved. All right, guys, let's see if we can get this freaking jumbo motherfucker stuck over here. All right, so because it's so big, I'm gonna back up the full 5 yards because, well, if I don't back up 5 yards, I'll already be hitting the tree just sticking my arm out. Oh, I hit the tip. Maybe I should back up a little bit more. All right, so holy mac, oh my gosh, I'll tell you what, I've never encountered a knife without a tip that performs so well at the tip. I mean, that thing is just awesome. It is such a great primitive Bowie. I mean, it is as primitive as they come. So primitive, in fact, that the pieces just fly off out of happiness. I don't know, let's go and bring it closer. All right, guys, here you have it. It's pretty much taken up my entire rack, but wow, this thing performs. And I'll tell you what, that little brass handguard, I'm not missing it right now. I think that looks kind of cool. This blade might be rugged, and it might be unfinished, and it might be broken at the tip, and it might come with a bunch of parts that aren't exactly on there the greatest, but man, this thing holds up to some tasks, and it held up very, very well, aside from already coming broken and having a piece fly off. I'm impressed. I thought that this was going to be an absolute crapshoot when I bought this, just because of its size compared to price. I figured there's no way in hell that either this blade was going to hold up or that handle wasn't going to snap off. There's not a lot of steel, you know, into that tang, but I was hacking away at it and it survived no problem. At one point I thought it loosened, but it didn't. I was checking it and it wasn't loose at all. Maybe somewhere deep down I wanted it to loosen so badly I just assumed it did, but no, it didn't. It held up very, very well. Not so bad. I mean, if you guys, you know, need an axe but you want a knife, or you need a knife but you want an axe, or you want a sword but you need a knife axe, or you want a knife axe but need a sword. Anyway, this thing, it's everything. It's all of that, and it can even be used as a freaking cannonball. It's amazing, guys. I can stand in Massachusetts and swing my arm around at full speed and cut somebody in Arkansas. This thing is just big. It is big, 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 big. And as far as the edge, there is no defects in the edge from swinging. I used a knife that was in the 150 range on that pallet test, and I dinged up the edge. An expensive knife, a real knife, and I dinged up the edge. This thing, no siree, Bob, no dings, no things, no chicken wings. Now I'm hungry. This guy right here, this guy went through everything I threw at it, and it even did a couple of extra things. Like this morning, it made me French toast all by itself. I didn't have to help it. The thing is just a monster. And as far as food prep is concerned, I'll tell you what, if you can't spread butter with a 13¼ inch blade, well, you need new butter, because this thing is butter smooth. It's awesome, guys. So for 30 bucks, if you want some jumbo machete sized Bowie knife that is going to be strong enough in the edge to take out into the woods and just have fun with, or to take out in the woods and literally be able to defend yourself against anything with, I'll tell you what, for 30 bucks, this is crazy worth it. You might want to, if you buy this, take a little hole center punch or something and bang off that brass guard on the top, because it's probably going to come off if you go through anything anyway. And if you knock it off early, then you can, you know, take the blade and shine it up really nice and act like it was never there in the first place, because I gotta say, this thing looks pretty good sitting just like this. So Szco Supplies Primitive Bowie, it's passed my tests, I gotta tell you that. I am Donnie B all day, and until next night.